Carlita Miller's been working in early childhood development for the last 14 years. She began with Eckert Connects in 2015 as director of our inaugural Early Head Start Child Care Partnership, then serving 85 children. In 2019, her program was awarded an expansion grant to serve an additional 300 children. Um, Carlita was a conference presenter at the Early Head Start Child Care Partnership model and a model for the National Head Start Association and the National Association of Family Child Care. Carlita, thank you for joining us today. Tell us about your program, just big picture, what kinds of things you're doing, and how you help these precious children.
Okie dokie. So we are an Early Head Start Child Care Partnership Grant. So a lot of people are familiar with Head Start and Early Head Start. And in those programs, in the traditional grant, you get funding to build sites in areas that are high risk, meaning low poverty, high risk behaviors, at risk children. So that's the traditional Head Start model. What we have that is new for the country is the Child Care Partnership model. And so with the Child Care Partnership model, we are not allowed to build sites, but instead build communities. And so we partner with local child care providers in areas of need, and we help them to become high quality providers, whether that is facility, mainly facility, also a lot of professional development to make sure they have the skills to teach the kids that are there in their communities. And so it is just this overall picture of children should not have to leave their own communities to get high quality education. And so we started out with 85, and now we are funded to serve 385. But the other unique part about the partnership grant is it's not limited to the children that we serve and the teachers who serve our children. So when we go in to partner, it is with the entire site. They may not all be funded by Early Head Start, but all of their teachers will benefit from professional development, and the entire staff will benefit from high quality and learning environment.
Hmm. Wow. So you guys are kind of reaching out, doing a lot of different things, and um, not what people traditionally think of when they think of a Head Start program in their local elementary school.
Correct.
Wow. Now, tell me about some of the kids in this program. I love hearing their stories. Of course, we have to be careful about sharing names, but we can sure to tell their stories. How has it transformed their lives? And is there a family or two that you could tell us something about?
Well, I think there are several families that Early Head Start has transformed, but because we serve babies, um, our impact is also with the parent, and that's across the board with Head Start, whether you have a traditional model or the partnership. So I
Gotcha.
guess one story that comes to mind is we had a thank you letter from a parent who was very grateful to the program for helping her get her child development credential. Not only were we able to pay for her to get the credential, but we also supported her with the books that she needed. We have another parent that through this program, she came in as an, I guess, a last resort trying to reach someone, and she reached one of our staff on in the evening after business hours, and she was actually experiencing homelessness. And that same parent now is self-sufficient and is also the author of, I believe, two books now.
Oh my
So
goodness.
our program is it is, you see the childcare piece of it, but really Early Head Start is about self-sufficiency. And the way we reach that is through the childcare piece because they can't go to school, they can't go to work, they can't do job training unless they have childcare. So the childcare piece is the vessel in which we use to promote self-sufficiency.
So not only are you helping the little ones, but you're helping the parents,
Mhm.
the mom, the dad, the grandparent, the guardian in that child's life, to get on their feet and to provide the kind of care that every child deserves.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Well, I did not expect that. I have to tell you, I am totally floored just thinking about this homeless mom that you all came alongside her, helped her get stable, helped her with her precious child, and wow, an author of two books now. That is amazing.
It is. It
That is
really is.
amazing. Well, let me throw a curveball at you, and I'm good at throwing curveballs, but I want to hear Carlita's story. How did how did you develop this passion for helping children and helping families like this? Talk to me about your journey, because everybody has one. There's a reason you're in that chair today.
I think it's just being raised with grandparents who were a part of the community. And I realized when I started out doing child welfare, I was a CPI for almost 7 years. And the one thing that I noticed was that that could have been me, but for opportunity and the grace of God. So the same support system that I had, it was just access and people who cared about me. That's what we try to do in Early Head Start, because all children deserve that, but maybe they don't know how, maybe they don't have the skills, maybe no one passed that along to them. So if we can provide just that opportunity, who knows what they will become? And we never know who we have in our presence, who we have in our classrooms. But you could be that person to make a difference for them to excel. And so that's what someone did for me. Several people in my community did that for me. And so that's what I try to do for everyone else that I come into contact with. And we have a team that also shares that philosophy. So it makes all the work of Head Start a little bit easier, because we all believe in children having equal access and opportunity to be successful.
Hmm. Wow. Well, that's a, a, a perfect launching point for the next question I have. What advice would you give to a parent, to a guardian, a grandmother, somebody that's helping care for one of these little ones? What advice would you give them about how to get involved, how to ask for help, how to get support, maybe how to volunteer, how to help you? What advice would you give to families in need right now?
They can call us. We have a toll-free number, and we also have our local number, which is 813-443-6563.
All right.
They can
I got
also
to be
reach
game show
us on
host. I got to be game show coach.
eckerd.org and our email.
All right.
And so
You
I
got
would say,
you got to do it
if,
slowly.
oh,
You got to say it
sorry, I
slowly.
talked there. Sorry.
And you got to repeat it. So that number again, Carlita.
Sorry. 813 443
Uh-huh.
6563.
Awesome. And how do they contact you by email again?
It is earlyheadstart@eckerd.org.
Awesome. Awesome. What's your feeling with parents um, in child care providers? I mean, are they are they quick to ask for help, or do you have to kind of go out and coax them a little bit? Talk to me about how that relationship develops.
Um, it's a combination. So some families they know about Head Start, because the Board of County Commissioners with Hillsborough County has had Head Start for over 50 years. So some parents are very familiar with it. What we are working on is trying to cast our net wider for families who don't. So it's a fine line, because they automatically assume, with us being a part of Eckerd Connects, that, oh, this is about child welfare. And it's not. And so having to deliver that message that this is a different model, still early Head Start, but our goal is not to see what you're doing in your home and, things like that. So we have to do a lot of work in the community with changing that narrative, so that the people who are not familiar with early Head Start understand that this resource is available to them.
Very good. Very good. Now, do you have a need for mentors or people to volunteer and help you in any ways like that?
Yes. So one of the things we just actually talked about in one of our meetings, when it comes to mentors, we really need male mentors, because we all believe that you can be whatever you can see. So we don't have a lot of males in our program and social services, and across the country, there's not a lot of males teaching, but it's because they don't see it. Kids don't see it. So if we have, that is a huge need to have volunteers in the classroom. Well, it's COVID, but
Right.
if it were not COVID, in the classroom, so the little ones can see and hear other voices than the faces that they typically see, so that they can start to dream and see themselves doing something different than what may not have been introduced to them. And then outside of that, any events that we have, we always welcome volunteers to help with our events, because that is a part of how we show community engagement for the Office of Head Start. So the only narrative that we have is, if you think about what you would want for your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, whatever it is that you would want for them to experience in a high quality learning environment, that's what we want to provide to our children. So anyone who has an idea or values that, we can find somewhere for them to volunteer, whatever their skill set is.
That's wonderful. It really is about, as our president David Dennis says, connecting people to their potential. And whether
Mm-hmm.
you're plugging volunteers and mentors into your program, or whether you're helping those little ones and caring for their needs to give them that head start in life, that really is special. You mentioned COVID. Talk to me about how that has impacted you personally, and your clients and the families you serve, specifically.
Where do I begin? So our program is huge on building capacity in the community and building relationships. And that is done primarily in person. So that has been a huge handicap with COVID and not being able to get in the community like we normally have, or not being present in the sites like we normally have been able to do. So that's been a huge impact. And personally, for me, on those days where it is just crazy with meetings and compliance, my safe place was going to the child care partner sites. And then it made sense why it was all worth it. So not having that outlet, it is very different. And for our families, they're used to seeing us there, and they reach out to our team members asking about events that we've hosted before or that we've partnered with, because they miss those things as well. So we meet still with Zoom. We started e-learning classes that will start back up in February, and it's with the parent and the child. But it's definitely taken a toll on the way that we are used to operating. But the good thing about it is, through support from like the diaper bank, we've been able to provide diapers and wipes for those babies, because they're not in the sites where they would normally get that taken care of. And then we've also received donations from community partners for food that they may need. So we've still been able to support, still able to be connected, but just in a different way.
Right. Tell me about the e-learning classes. What kind of what kind of things are you discussing? What kind of uh, tech things are you talking about? Give us a little flavor for that.
Okay, so it's two part. So it's the in our program we have family services staff who work with the families on what their goals are, community resources, and things like that. And then we have our education staff, which kind of speaks for itself. So the two of them are on the e-learning classes, and it is a really teaching the parent how to teach with what they have at home, and then also giving them the opportunity to express whatever their needs are, that they may have, so that we can connect them to the resources. And then, because our babies are 0 to 3, it really provides that parent an opportunity to talk to another adult. at the end of the day. And so that is how we rolled out the e-learning, and it was super successful, and we'll start it back up in February.
Well, as a grandpa of seven, and there's and of those seven, three are toddlers under the age of three. Um, um, I can imagine that some of these moms, dads, nanas, grandmas, um, they need somebody to talk to, a real grown up. Well, that's pretty
Definitely.
special, and just helping them with just that the one-on-one support, being there for them. Um, um, Now, in the um, previous to COVID, were you able to provide meals and those kinds of things? And or now it's just supplemental, or is the feeding that you provide now just a special thing because of COVID?
Yes, so twofold. In the centers, they are responsible for making sure two-thirds of their daily nutrition is met. So they get those meals in the center, but and so our program really wasn't doing that because that need was met in the
The center was
centers
there.
or
Mhm.
the family childcare homes. But since COVID, we were able to get permission from the Office of Head Start to meet that need because obviously they can't be there, and it doesn't mean that that need for their two-thirds daily nutrition goes away because they're not in the center. So through the Office of Head Start with COVID funding, we were allowed to do that.
Oh, that's terrific. That is terrific. Well, I keep reminding our team, COVID is not going to be like it is forever. And, I'm just hoping, praying that in the next 2 or 3 months, we're able to get back doing some of those things we used to do. I think we'll always do them differently moving forward, but it is going to be an exciting time to see the children we serve in person. That is so
Yes,
special.
absolutely.
Well, I know you've got some big news, and I want to hear about um, uh, the state for sure, but we're one of the first new mobile care units anywhere, aren't we?
Yes, we are on in Region 4, definitely. We are the first ones to have this unit. Can you guys hear me? Because I think my
Yes.
connection is
It froze up a little bit, but we hear
acting
you
up.
fine.
Okay. So yes, definitely for Region 4 in Head Start, which is made up of 8 states. So yeah, we are definitely the first ones to have the mobile unit. And we are super, super, super excited about it
Let
because
me
it will
let me
give us
try
the
to share a
opportunity.
picture. I'll try and share a picture. We'll see if I can do that. So hold on. Let's see
Okay.
here. Share. See if I can pull this off. Um, I've got a couple pictures. Here's one. Um, and that's kind of the unit in its raw form before you guys got anything in it. Um, um,
Correct.
and then, and let me see if I can. So that's for everybody watching on screen. Um, you can see it's plain white right now, and we're trying. I'm going to stop sharing this picture. It only lets me share one at a time. Um, and see if I can share another one here. Um, you guys can't see that. It didn't share it, did it? Hold on. This technology stuff, and I am the worst guy for this. Um,
I might have you beat.
wow, that was the first one. Let me close that one. And I'm going to actually close that photo while I'm sitting here. And now I'll grab the right one. Did we get it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Didn't let me grab it. So let me one more time, and then we'll call it quits. But um, Share content. Grab that thing. Now you got it. And this is an artist rendering. Pretty bright photos. You can see it now, Carlita?
I can't see it.
You can't.
No, I don't know. Maybe my connection, because I keep getting an error message.
Can anybody else see this?
I see it, Roy.
Oh, you can? Well, Carlita, what I sent them was that first artist rendering of the wrap that you're working on. And we're looking for sponsors that can help us pay for this. It's just going to be beautiful. It's really going to be a shining light in the community as Carlita and her team go out there to serve the kids. But I wanted to show folks this, and I'm going to stop sharing and just hand it back to Carlita for a minute. But Carlita, talk about how you're going to use this mobile unit. Will you have appointments in certain neighborhoods? How will that work?
Yes, so we're going to use it. We were able to get this just kind of thinking outside the box for with the use of COVID funding to reach communities that are still at risk, but giving them an opportunity to have some instruction. We will engage with parents as well. And so we will schedule time. And our thought is using the Hillsborough County parks to park in certain locations and have a schedule where parents know every week on this day, this is when Early Head Start will be here. Also, it will give us an opportunity to partner with several members of the community that we have spoken with about this and to do developmental screenings, whether it is health, dental, medical, just to be able to support the community in addition to providing that Early Head Start touch point in communities that don't have Early Head Start. And some of them don't even have early childhood centers at all.
Wow. So you'll be able to go to places that you're not at now and
correct.
And provide some in-person support. That is this will help your program and Eckerd in
Roy, we lost you.
to hear. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Great. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I don't hear you. You're talking. I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, this technology stuff today, but I think it's going to be fun to have this unit. So some of the trainings that you're doing, you'll actually be able to do either, I assume, kind of one-on-one with this in scheduled appointments with the mobile service unit.
Correct.
That is terrific. Wow. It's just exciting. And to think about this will be something they haven't seen before for providing this kind of service. I'm really dating myself now. But I remember going to see the Bookmobile back in the 1960s, and to think that this mobile unit is going to be providing, high technology, hands-on support, helping people with even the physical needs. I assume that you'll use it with diapers and some of the other physical things that you're helping people with. You'll be able to store those and bring those with you and deliver more correct. Wow. That is just amazing. I know we've got several supporters, financial partners on the call today. I'm not going to call them out and embarrass them, but Carlita, if you have a chance just to say something to some of the supporters of Eckerd, and what would you like to tell them, and how can they help you? Take a minute and just share from your heart, if you would.
Just first of all, thank you for all of the support with our initiatives, whether the support has been financial, whether it has been goods, or just even guiding us on what the community needs are. so that we can all work together to serve the children and families in our community. So I'm really grateful and appreciative of that. And so I think just moving forward, we would like to continue all of our collaborations and with the help of everyone shaping what we do, because we are not, we don't have all the answers, but we definitely have a piece of the puzzle. So for the supporters, we are grateful for any feedback, any type of support that you provide. Like I said, whether it be thought, goods, services, or financial, we are grateful for that.
That's amazing. And so often, I get asked by donors, should I should I give stuff or should I give cash? And I always remind them that when you make a cash donation, um, then that enables Carlita to know what she needs most. I mean, she is to use an illustration, I mean, she's doing triage surgery. She knows where her patients are hurting the most, where they need the most help. And so that's always what I like to remind people of. Please, 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 if you can give cash, it really helps our program managers to apply it specifically to where people and where their clients are hurting at that specific time. But if people wanted to donate gifts in kind, you mentioned a couple things already. Diapers, painting. There's different things they could do of the building, lawn services, school supplies. Basic needs for teaching children. Talk to me about what some of those would be if people wanted to help you with some of those kind of items.
The primary one would be the maintenance of our child care partners. So we receive funding to do startup, but this is long term. This is for the long haul. So those maintenance services like painting or lawn service, cleaning the classrooms. So those things are always tangible. And then we move to supplies. So they are using supplies to teach kids every day because our program is full day year round. So we're not closed during the summer. We're closed for a total of 4 weeks in the year. And so that ongoing need for classroom supplies will be there, age specific, obviously 0 to 3. And then outside of that, we anticipate having a heavy lift with the mobile education unit with gas. So that is something that we are anticipating that is going to be a heavy lift because it is the first one. And also it's just so valuable in providing an alternative. And when you go into someone's community that doesn't have access to high quality education or even a developmental screening. So those are the things that I think are a priority at this point.
Very good. Wow. So now I'll go back to, of course, I'm the chief development officer. That means I'm the head beggar around here. And, but if somebody wanted to donate $100, that could really help a family, couldn't it?
Correct.
And if they donated $1,000, that could help like 10 families, right? If I get my math right. Let me get my calculator out.
Yes, it would.
And that mobile unit, those wraps aren't cheap. But we're looking for maybe some people that have their own businesses to be corporate sponsors with us, help us pay for that and be a partner that we would feature and talk about and thank publicly. Any other thoughts there on finding a sponsor to get that wrap done, paid for?
No, we're still waiting. We've gotten the measurements done, so we're waiting. But I know it's going to be costly because Jeanette has done an amazing job with the artist rendering. So I know it will be costly because we always strive to be the best because I'm super competitive. So we're not skimping on the wrap.
Yeah, the wrap's important. We're building name ID in the community, and it's just going to be a way to get people talking and seeing firsthand what you're doing, Carlita.
Right.
So there's so many ways. And of course, I don't want to forget the thing you mentioned early on in your initial comments about being a mentor, coming alongside and helping you and your team as a volunteer. And so please, if you can help us, you're listening today, maybe you know somebody that can help us. Maybe you know somebody that has a local business. Maybe you can just help us personally. Please reach out to us. Let us know. Carlita, your phone number again, and say it slow this time.
813-443-6563.
And that email
And
address.
I wanted to say one more thing about the mentor. Because of the nature of Head Start, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that it's not just the children. Our parents need mentors. And so any skill set for anyone who wants to volunteer to be a mentor would be invaluable, not just for the children in the classroom, but for their parents as well.
That is awesome. You know, I did have a couple questions come in for sponsoring the vehicle and helping with the painting and the wrap. And I know we're still working on some of these details. Do you think a sponsor would be able to have a company logo on that wrap, or would it just be something we talk about in PR? Have you thought about that yet? I think he froze up on us.
I don't know if it's just me, Roy, but I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, did we fade again?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, but I asked, do you think that a couple folks have asked whether if they sponsored the wrap, whether their logo could be somewhere on the vehicle, or whether that would have to just be in our PR and media releases and that kind of thing. Any thoughts? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You cut out again, but I can hear you now.
We're trying to figure out how, if somebody sponsors, would the logo be able to be featured somewhere?
Yes.
Because I know we talked about that. Again, we're going to make it pretty and tasteful, and the most important thing is we're going to talk about you when we're out in the community and sharing what role you played in sponsoring the program. So, great. Other questions? I want to kind of open it up for questions now. Any questions on Early Head Start or our new mobile unit for Carlita? Come on, don't be shy. They're always shy, Carlita. Of course, some on my team contend I use up all the oxygen and they can't breathe when they want to ask a question. So that may be true, but awesome. Well, Carlita, anything else you'd like to share with the team before we wrap up here today?
No, I think that was pretty much everything.
Well, you did an awesome job, and you know, I can't tell you just you know how much it means to me to think that that there's you and your team are out there, you know, helping moms and grandparents and people providing this child care with immediate needs, even before they get to the classroom. That's such an exciting thing. So, and such a special thing. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being part of Eckert. We so appreciate you. You did a phenomenal job today, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing from a lot of people. This, candidly, was not just our first call of the year. It was one of our most well-attended sessions today. So thank you, Carlita. And I am looking forward to working with you and looking forward to come spending some time with you as we talk to friends and supporters in the community to raise support for what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to remind everyone, next Wednesday, we'll have Rebecca Capusta with us. She's our Vice President of Community-Based Programs. And so please, please, please join us next Wednesday. We'll be getting an announcement out. we'll also have a recording of this interview. And so I'll be sending that out to everybody that participated in this call. Maybe there's somebody that you know should hear this interview, and you can send it by email, a link that they can watch this whole interview and find out more about this program. So maybe there's a local business person, maybe there's a family in the community that you know that needs some help. So there'll be lots of reasons for you to use the video, and we'll be getting it out to you. Usually do that on Friday each week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We so appreciate it. God bless you, and we're here for you. Thank you so much for all you do, Carlita. We so appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlita. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Soror, Carlita, and happy Founders Day to you, Soror.
Same to you.
Thank you.